And so you talked about the autonomy of the RBI being eroded. And now the Bimal Jalan committee, which was constituted last year under the stewardship of the former RBI governor, is going to submit his recommendation that the RBI should pass excess capital reserve to the government in tranches over 2 to 3 years. How do you see this move? Is this going to solve the economic crisis like the government is facing, and how do you see this entire step?
No, I should think that the reserves that RBI has, these reserves are not free reserves. They are against some commitment or the other. So first we'll have to deal with that. If I am holding something, then am I holding it against a IOU kind of a thing, or is it a freehold kind of a thing? Most of the reserves of RBI, even including the foreign exchange reserves, are against some commitment or the other. So if you take that out, then I don't know what more is left. But whatever is left, after all, the Reserve Bank of India is the Reserve Bank of India. And therefore, it should not be that you take away the reserves and weaken the institution. You strike at the faith that people have in that institution in order to shore up your own reserves, add to your own reserves or expenditure. And that money investment, how has that been spent? Can somebody in the government explain what are the new assets which have been created as a result of the disposal of the older assets? So one does not know. And if institutions like RBI and SEBI have built up some reserves, let them hold on to them, because you don't know when the rainy day will come.
So as we have already talked about the fiscal deficit, but I would still like to ask that question again, that whether we can criticize Modi government on economic front, but we can't shy away from accepting this fact that this government has done a fiscal consolidation. And
no, I don't accept it.
And the fiscal deficit has been lowered by 1.7% under Modi regime.
That's what I am saying. It's just management of statistics. It's just that. I mean, I would have, if I had said it, you would say I am opposed to this regime and therefore I am saying it. But now the Controller and Auditor General of India has said, and the amount is 4 lakh crore rupees. It's not 10,000, 20,000. It's 4 lakh crore rupees which has been dealt with in a manner which can only be described as a bad budgetary practice. And therefore I told you in the beginning that I don't believe the data which is doled out by this government, because they're all dressed up figures.
And sir, just after the budget was presented, the July month has witnessed largest FPI pullout. And as you know, that increase in the surcharge on super rich people also going to affect the 40% of the FBI. So how do you see this step?
Not FDI so much as
FPI.
FPI, yeah. Foreign portfolio investments. They are withdrawing their money from here. And one of the most important reasons for that is this surcharge. And I mentioned to you, this is actually exemplifies the adding fuel to fire point that I was making. You knew that the economy was slowing down. You knew that stock markets were under pressure. They are the source of investment, and yet you went ahead with this step, which has caused further damage to the stock market. Look at what's happening to the stock markets. I'm not a great fan of the Indian stock markets, but if consistently over a period of time you see nothing but decline in the index, then it's a matter of worry.
So as you have been a staunch critique of this government on economic front and many other, and you have been a vocal critique. So many comments have been poured in the past. As one person said that you are a frustrated person, Arun Jaitley also said that he is not having a luxury to be a former finance minister to comment on anything. So how do you take all these reactions in your life? I'll
only invite such critics to go through this book. when Arun Jaitley came out with that remark that I was a job seeker at 80, I had replied to him at that point of time, and then they shut up. Now nobody in the government challenges me. Have you ever seen them challenging me? That was the last time that they made a remark against me, and they got it in their face. I am not a person who takes things lying down. I will never take it lying down even in future. So those who think that I am looking for a job should remember that my whole career has been giving up jobs. Who would have given up the career in the IAS, a very successful career in the Indian Administrative Service, after 24 years, when I had 12 years of service to go? Who would have done it? VP Singh wanted to make me a Minister of State. I did not accept it for some very valid reasons. Who would have done it? Somebody who seeks a job. Then there have been so many instances. I voluntarily decided I will not contest the 2014 elections. Okay? Now if I did not contest the 2014 elections, how could I get a job? I mean, the only job I could have got was to be a minister in government. So if I am not contesting elections, which I was sure to win, how would I become a minister? So these people are, trolls. They have the social media at their command. They can write anything. I mean, you've been very gentle in your comment, but I get comments on the social media which are vulgar in the extreme. Because these are all ignorant people. They are not people at all. They are just, imaginary addresses.
And so last year in Indian Express you wrote an article, and next day after that Yashwant Sinha, your son, also countered and rebutted that like your point of view. So he belongs to the BJP. So do you differ on political sort of ideologies at your personal level? So how
we differ as far as politics is concerned, but we are family, we are father and son. The only way in which we tackle this is not to discuss politics at all. So when I meet him or when we meet, we don't discuss politics.
And then some speculation were doing rounds when this government came in that your critique is a reason that he did not get any portfolio in this government.
I don't know the truth, but if it is what you're saying it is, then it is very sad indeed. I can only say it's very sad, because this brings out a government which is vindictive in its approach. I hope it is not true.
And sir, at last I would like to ask you this question. You have extensively talked about your failings in the book, and if you would, I ask you, what are the 3 mistakes of your life that you committed that you want to undo?
Well, very difficult to say. I told somebody else that probably leaving the IAS was a mistake. But then my interlocutor said, no, but you did well in politics. I said, later on, at that point of time, it was just darkness all around. People I knew very well used to look through me, because they thought that I had ruined my career, my life. Then, perhaps not doing the things a politician is supposed to do, like being on the right side of the media. I have never gone out of my way to cultivate the media. I feel that just as I have some duties to do, the media also has a duty to do. And you are talking to me, you are doing a duty. I am talking to you, I am doing a duty.
And you also mentioned in this book you coined the term Supari journalism.
Yeah. So why should one go out of the way to cultivate the media? But that is what politics is all about today. And this government appears to be successful because the media says it's successful, because the media does not have the courage to say no. There are so many things which are wrong. So not dealing with the media in the manner in which I should have, maybe that's another mistake that I have made in my life. And there are so many other things I could have done differently, which I did not at that point of time. That is life. You take some, you lose some.
And sir, at last, how do you see the future of the party that you left in 2014, the BJP?
The BJP is not the BJP which I had joined in 1993 after leaving the Samajwadi Janata Party. That was the BJP of Atal Bihari Vajpayee and L.K. Advani. It was very different. Today's BJP is very different. And I can only hope that someday BJP will correct itself, like the people of this country will correct the direction this country has taken. But it's all very sad. For the time being, one feels very, very despondent.
Thanks, Mr. Sinha. Thanks for talking to us.